A little over 100 years ago, my great-grandfather had a dream. His dream would be that we would never see war in Europe again. He was a soldier, a German soldier in World War I, and he came back from war deeply traumatized by his experience. And he decided to open a printing press, printing books and magazines promoting nonviolence. But when Hitler came to power in 1933, this was not appreciated at all. And my family was put to prison without a trial several times. They were publicly harassed, but they were also the lucky ones, because they were able to escape to Denmark for safety. I didn't learn this from my grandfather. He was too deeply traumatized to talk about this. I learned it from a little blue booklet that I found in the attic when I was a teenager. And looking through these papers, I realized that the only reason that I'm alive today is based on the decisions that my family had done 2 generations ago. So when the refugee, or the so-called refugee crisis, hit Germany in 2015, I knew it was my time to act. Because in the eyes of the people arriving in Europe and on the German borders, I saw the trauma of my own family. So I decided to start a tech school called ReDI School of Digital Integration to teach the newcomers digital skills to support them get faster into good jobs in Germany. And the first semester was great. We had high participation, we had high graduation numbers. I mean, we even had Mark Zuckerberg come and visit our students. But most importantly, our learners were landing in jobs afterwards. So a success in many ways, but there was a problem. When we looked at our participation numbers, only 2 out of 43 learners were women. Let me repeat that. 5% of our learners were female. And as a female founder, that's just simply not okay. So together with my team, we decided to set the audacious goal in many ways that we wanted 50% women at our school. We didn't know if that would be possible, but we knew it was really important to try. The first thing we did was to look at our marketing. And we decided, of course, we need to make sure that we're using female-friendly language and female-appealing images. And it did make a difference. We went from 5 to 20% women. It moved the needle, but we were still far, far away from our goal. And then we decided to do what women do really well, is to get good people together. So we invited women with a migration background and women coming from the tech sector together for a dinner party. Because we want to specifically look at who do we mean when we talk about refugee women. They're very, very different and diverse. So we should not put them into one group. So we were looking specifically at who do we mean when we say we want 50% women at our school. Because just think about it. On the one hand side, you might have a woman from Afghanistan, and on the other hand side, you have a woman from Iran. Both women, maybe even the same age, both refugees, both interested in tech. But one has been 7 years to school, and the other one arrives with a PhD. They need 2 very, very different kind of programs. On the International Women's Day, we therefore decided, let's get even more good women and men together to co-create with us what a curriculum for digital literacy and high-end tech could look like that would be very attractive to women. And based on their ideas and their feedback, we decided that we were going to do a test pilot. For 1 month, we were teaching 30 learners tech skills to see if they liked it, to see if this was worthwhile to make bigger. And based on that feedback, we decided to go out and convince donors to give us money so that we could build out the Digital Women program at ReDI School. And our program stands out in many different ways based on the feedback from our future learners. First and foremost, we learned that timing is absolutely essential because women are busy. Women have a lot of responsibility. And when we asked our future learners what would be the perfect timing for them, they said Saturday morning, because that was a time that they could invest into their own future. We also learned that we needed to provide childcare, because 40% of our learners are mothers, and many of them didn't have the opportunity or the help at home to take care of the children. So even though we were a tech school, all of a sudden we also became a kindergarten. We also needed to have a very specific look at the curriculum to make sure that we were building on the strengths, the interests, and the dreams of our future learners. Just imagine what it feels like for the first time to go online on your internet bank when you used to need help for that. It's incredibly empowering. Or on the other hand side, if you have an idea and you're able to build your first website, an app, and maybe even start your own company. This is what our women program is doing. And one very important thing is that all our teachers are volunteers, many of them women. And as you see here in the picture, many of our teachers are actually former students. This is one of our learners in our high-end tech program, who was an engineer in Syria, came to Germany, took the ReDI courses, and is now a cybersecurity expert at a large American tech company here in Germany. Now, you probably ask yourself, did we achieve our goal? I am very happy to say we did. And actually, we went beyond our goal. Only a couple of years later, we had 65% female participants out of our 8,000 learners. But many surprising things happened on this journey. We could see that investing in our women program also meant that we were getting even more applicants for our high-end tech program that is both for men and women. And today we have actually 50% women in our high-end tech courses. And since we are already providing childcare, we thought, why not start a kids program? And today, more than 50% of our learners at ReDI School are kids and youth. We were also able to scale up our idea and started a ReDI School for women in Denmark. Here you see our learners in Aarhus. And last year, we even won the Danish Diversity Award for this effort. We also were able to expand a couple of years later to Sweden, where in Malmö we're teaching in one of the most deprived and difficult areas. But as you can see here, it is possible to reach these women. They do want to learn, and they have a deep interest in technology. The most important thing that I learned was that investing in women in tech is an investment in innovation that's going to benefit all of us. But we still have a long way to go. ReDI School has achieved our goal of 50%, but if we look at the tech sector in Europe, we still have a big problem. If we look at Germany specifically, only 19% of the people working in the tech sector are female. And if we look into AI, it gets even worse. Less than 1% of the investments for AI startups was given to startups with women founders or even women co-founders. And if you look on the user side, it's also not looking great. 50% of the use of AI are men, and only 37% of women are using AI. The big question is, of course, why is that? And it's not because women don't understand the benefit of AI or that we don't know how to use it. We do. But women perceive a very high level of risk, and we have security concerns. And that, to me, clearly demonstrates that women know exactly how AI works, and that it's AI that needs to change, not the women. So what do we do now? Do we sit back and hope that it's all going to go away? Or do we decide to lean in? At ReDI School, we have set another audacious target. In the next 5 years, we want to reach 1 million learners with AI skills in Europe. And 50% of those, of course, have to be women. Once again, I don't know if that's possible, but I know it's important to try. Just imagine what the European tech sector would look like if we had hundreds of thousands of new women trained to change the sector around. It is time for us to roll up our sleeves, put on our best superhero capes, and get to work. Thank you.